It's no news that ammo is hard to get. Empty magazines abound. Empty guns abound. But that doesn't mean that you can't continue to train. In fact, it's seriously important that you keep training. So we're going to take a look at a few ways that you can train with no ammo to keep your skills honed and to be ready. Now, I highly recommend dry firing. And in the past, I've done a video about dry firing specifically. But one of the things that dry firing does, it takes the existing handgun or rifle that you use on a regular basis and allows you to practice with it and to really get down on the fundamentals. The real key to dry firing is that you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your shop, you can do it in your house. But you need to be very careful and be very safety conscious. Modern handguns are fine to dry fire. If you really want to be particular, you can put dummy rounds in your gun. I like just to dry fire dry because I like to rack the slide and I like to get repeated shots very quickly. Old revolvers with the firing pin connected with a hammer, you don't want to dry fire, and 22 long rifle, typically, you don't want to dry fire. 22 long rifle hits the edge of the case, and if you don't have a case in the chamber, the dry fire can actually hit the side of the chamber instead of the brass where it was intended to hit. Now, the beauty of dry firing is that you can work with your handgun or rifle, you can manipulate all the controls, and when you pull the trigger, there's no recoil, there's no noise, there's no smoke, and you can really begin to get down on the fundamentals of shooting. Bringing your firearm up into position and getting a good sight picture. That alone is worth the effort. Just taking it and getting your sight picture. Taking it, getting your sight picture. Keeping both eyes open. Once you've done that several times, bring the firearm up to firing position and pull the trigger. Feel how the trigger reacts. Feel the reset. Do this a number of times and you will see a vast improvement at the range. Even if ammunition was plentiful, it's still a great way to train. It does save you on ammunition even when ammunition is available. Another important element of dry firing is manipulating your weapon in your holster. And this will get all of your attention on the way the firearm reacts mechanically, without the recoil and without the noise. So I draw the handgun, bring it up into shooting position, pull the trigger, bring it back to my chest, keeping finger out of the trigger unless you're ready to fire, and getting that down. Get in a habit of keeping your finger out of the trigger guard. The only time that you really should have your finger on the trigger guard is when the sight is acquired. Find that place on the frame of your pistol or your rifle. Another thing you can do when dry firing is keep extra magazines handy. Now, to me, the best way to position your magazine is with the base plate forward, with the rounds forward. So when I grab the magazine, I'm grabbing it with the front of the magazine like this. I'm ready to insert it and close it. That way there's not going to be any mistake on which way these magazines are supposed to go. Now, this exercise can be done without even dry firing. By drawing your handgun, bringing it forward, drop your magazine, pull another one out of your pouch, load it, present, drop, bring another one out, load it, drop, reholster. You can continue to do this over and over, and if you have a lot of magazines, which like this Glock 17, I have quite a few of these, I'm able to sit, actually I can sit on the floor and grab my magazines and just go through a drill of placing magazines, making sure that I'm getting them seated correctly, bringing the gun out, inserting the magazine, releasing it, inserting, releasing it, inserting, and then work up to speed. Bring it back, reholstering, getting used to reholstering your weapon without having to look. Bring it back, place it back in your holster. Of course, all this works the same with your rifle. No magazine inserted, double checking to make sure that the gun is unloaded. I can bring it up to my shoulder, ready to fire. I'm getting a good sight picture, getting the rifle in the ready position, bringing it up, getting a good sight picture, bringing it down, bringing it up, bringing it down. Getting on target. Once you've done that a few times, bring it up, bring your finger out of the trigger, bring it down into ready position. Of course, the more you practice, the more your muscle memory takes over and you begin to learn your rifle. You begin to understand, you get very familiar with your weapon system. This exercise can also work with a load-bearing vest or a chest rig like this. In fact, I have the armor plates inserted in this chest rig. Bring your magazine out, understand where it's going, bring it up, getting a feel for the chest rig or your assault vest, making sure that you have a good platform to place the rifle. Get that sight picture, bring it in, drop the mag, insert another one, ready to go. Again, just getting really familiar with your weapon systems. Even the pistol mags that are on this pouch, they're not here for decoration. So you need to be able to draw your weapon, insert your magazines, work out all the bugs. If you're having trouble getting these in and out, once you practice, and the more you practice, the more that this vest will slide these magazines in and out. Now, another great way to train with that ammunition is an airsoft gun. Now, there's a lot of companies out there making airsoft handguns and rifles that mimic exactly what the real steel versions will do. Of course, this is a 1911. Even the weight and the action are the same as the 1911. Rack your slide, slide reacts, your hammer's back, put your safety on, present the firearm just like it's a real steel gun. One of the things you need to be careful too, make sure you wear eye protection because these really sting and they can actually break teeth. Bringing your gun up, firing, firing. All the controls are the same, the way it feels, the way it functions. No, there's not a lot of recoil. Yes, you're going to have a difference. It's actually an improvement over dry firing because you have instant gratification what it's doing. Airsoft, I highly recommend it. I think it's a great way to train and to improve your skill. And airsoft BBs are plentiful. And the one thing about all of these methods is that you can do these inside. The airsoft takes some special precautions and you need to be careful because there can be ricochets, but I have shot airsoft quite a bit inside my workshop. But whether it's airsoft or a real firearm, safety is number one. Double check that ammunition is separate, make sure that there is no way to make any mistakes, and when you're dry firing, make sure you're still shooting in a safe direction. Here we have a CO2 powered BB gun. BBs are cheap, they're plentiful, and they can be a lot of fun. Shooting fundamentals are the same no matter what. You have your sights to look down, keeping your finger out of the trigger guard for safety, and then you fire. Really a great way not only to just relax, but it's also great for pest control. And there are a lot of different options out there. A pellet gun is also a great option, and it's quiet and it's a lot of fun and you're still getting your basic fundamentals. Just relax, you load, just makes every shot count. Something like this pellet gun, it has really excellent sights, has a hooded front sight, even adjustable here. So you can really work on your accuracy, all the fundamentals, the breathing, the sights, the way the gun feels. You can even put this on a rest and set it up just like you would any type rifle. The less you go to the range, the more your firearm skills degrade. So take these few hints, go out, keep practicing, keep working on the fundamentals, so when ammunition comes back, you'll be even more prepared and you'll have a lot of the basic fundamentals down and your shooting will improve. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Even with the pistol mags that are on the pouch, I want to learn where they are. I want to be able to draw them quick. Yes, officer, I'm just making a video. Do I need bulletproof vests to make a video? Well, maybe sometimes. And if you're wondering what this really cool stock system is on this AR-15, It's one of the ATI Strike Force systems. This is awesome. Review is coming.